Welcome to Math with Mr. Dobrescu to the rescue. Our lesson today will focus on solving a system of linear equations by the elimination method, part 3. So if we take a look at this system of linear equations, we have 4x plus 5y equals 6 and 6x minus 7y equals negative 20. If we add the top equation to the bottom equation, we see that we will not be able to cancel either the x or the y. Also, if we just multiply one of the equations by a number, I don't think we are going to be able to cancel the x or the y, because here we have a 4 and on the bottom we have a 6. If I multiply by 2, 2 times 4 is 8. Of course, we're not going to be able to cancel the 6 because we're not going to have a match. The same here, we have 5 and negative 7. So in this case, we have to multiply both equations, the top equation and the bottom equation, by a number in order to cancel either the x or the y. The question is, which one do you want to cancel? The x or the y? You have a choice. We can either cancel the x or the y. Let's pretend we want to cancel the x. So if we want to cancel the x, we see that on the top we have 4x and on the bottom we have 6x. Now, a really good technique would be to multiply the top number by the number on the bottom here. So if we multiply 4x by 6 times 6, 6 times 4 is 24. And then if we multiply the bottom number 6 by 4, but we need a negative 4 because we need the opposite in order to cancel the x, by negative 4, 6 times negative 4 becomes negative 24. And in this case, we are going to be able to cancel the x. So remember, this number we multiply 6 at the top, and we multiply 4 at the bottom. Okay? So we kind of switch them. But on the bottom, we need to multiply by negative 4 in order for us to be able to cancel that x. Okay? I hope I'm not too confusing there. But let's rewrite the systems after we multiply 6 at the top, all the terms, and negative 4 at the bottom, all the terms for both equations. And let's see what we have. So let's multiply also 5y by 6 times 6. And 6 times 6. And on the bottom we multiply negative 7 times negative 4. And negative 20 times negative 4. Remember, in math, whatever we do to one term, we have to do to all the terms in the equation in order for us to keep it fair, right? So let's continue. Let's multiply. 6 times 4x becomes 24x. 24x. 5 times 6 becomes 30y plus 30y equals 6 times 6, 36. And that's our first equation after we multiply 6 on all the terms. Let's continue to the bottom equation. 6 times negative 4x becomes negative 24x. Negative 7y times negative 4 becomes positive 28. So plus 28y. And then equals negative 20 times negative 4. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 2, 8. Positive 80. And now we have a new system of linear equations. But now, if we add the top and the bottom, we can clearly see that 24x and negative 24x cancel each other out. So we got rid of the x. Let's see what we have left over. 30y plus 28y becomes 30, 40, 58y. 58y equals, and then if we add 80 plus 36, 6 plus 0, 6. 8 plus 3, 11. 116. And now let's divide both sides by 58. And let's see what we get. 58 divided by 58 simplifies to 1y equals, let's see, one number times 58 gets us 116. Let's try 2. I think 2 is going to work. 2 times 8, 16, 6, 1. 2 times 5, 10, plus 1, 11. So 2 is good. So we got the y. Not bad. We were able to get the y. Now, what do? After we get the y, we need to substitute this y into one of the original equations that has less numbers. So let's plug that one into the top y right there. And now let's solve for x. So now we have 4x, the original equation. So we have 4x plus 5. Instead of y, we are substituting 2 times 2 equals 6. Let's solve it. So we have 4x plus 5 times 2 becomes 10 equals 6. And now we have to subtract 10 on both sides. 10 minus 10 simplifies. And then we have 4x equals negative 10 plus 6 becomes negative 4. And finally, we have to divide both sides by 4. That simplifies, so we get x equals negative 4 divided by positive 4 becomes negative 1. X equals negative 1. So we got the answer. X equals negative 1. So our final answer is, let me write it right here, x equals negative 1 and y equals 2. And this is the answer for our system of linear equations. You see, let's do a little summary here. We had to multiply both equations. The top one we multiplied by 6 and the bottom one we multiplied by negative 4. And after we multiplied all the terms by 6 at the top and all the terms by negative 4 on the bottom, we got a new set of linear equations and we were able to cancel the x. And then finally we solve for y and then we solve for x. Now let's check our answer, right? We need to check our solution. So instead of x, we are going to put negative 1, right? So 4 times negative 1 becomes negative 4. Plus 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. We get a true statement. So it works for the first equation. And let's see now the second equation. We have 6 times negative 1 becomes negative 6. Minus 7 times 2, which is negative 14. Negative 6 and negative 14 become negative 20. That's correct. Another true statement. Okay? And it works for the second equation. So in fact, negative 1 and negative 2 is the solution of our system of linear equations. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, now we were able to do even a more complicated system of linear equations, solving it by the elimination method, where we had again to multiply both equations by number in order for us to cancel the x. Thank you all so much again, and stay tuned for the word problem involving solving a system of linear equations by the elimination method, and it's gonna get just a little bit more complicated. See you in the next video. All the best.